How you doing, everybody? My name is Evan Thorson. I'm one of the automotive technology teachers here at Broome-Tioga BOCES. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our program today. So the first thing you'll see here are a set of QR codes. Those QR codes are for the syllabus, both for the first and the second year of the program. So if you want to take a minute and scan those, feel free. We're going to look a little bit at the first year syllabus in a minute, but if you want the full syllabus for both classes, go ahead and hit those QR codes. These are just some basic rules and procedures. I'm not going to spend much time on this because you're not here in person. This presentation was built around having students in the room. So let's talk a little bit about how it would work if you came to school here. So you'd come here for half of the day, and you would take your academic classes the other half of the day at your homeschool. Whether that's the AM or the PM would be based on when your homeschool sent you. So you might come here in the morning and go back to your homeschool in the afternoon for your academic classes, or vice versa. You can take the bus here. You don't have to worry about transportation. With that being said, you can drive. There are student driving passes. There are student parking spots. And you'll receive 3 credits a year for every year you pass your CTE class, totaling 6 credits for 2 years. We'll talk a little bit more about credit in a little bit. Safety glasses. Safety glasses have to be worn in the following classes. They have to be worn in auto body repair, automotive technology, which is this class, general automotive services, building trades careers, carpentry, heavy equipment repair and operation, welding, masonry, and electricity. It's non-negotiable. The only time that might not be the case is if you wear prescription glasses. You're fine out in the shop unless you're using something that might throw things in your face, like a grinder or whatnot, in which case you would wear a face shield. So they want us to talk a little bit about ourselves. So this is me. I have 2 degrees. My associate's in applied science degree from automotive technology from SUNY Morrisville, and my bachelor's in science and vocational education from Oswego State University. So the first degree is my automotive degree. The second degree is my teaching degree. As far as work experience is concerned, I have quite a bit. This isn't everything. I just kind of put some things up here to show that I've kind of run the gamut as far as things you can do in the industry. Obviously, I'm a teacher here. I used to own a shop called Velocity Motorsports. I was the assistant manager of an Advanced Auto Parts. I was an auto technician at Serafini Nissan Volvo. I was an auto technician at Ken Wilson Chevrolet. And I was a machinist and a welder at a place called Creative Designs. So I've been in management. I've been a shop owner. I've been an auto technician. I've been a fabricator. I've done a lot of different things in the industry. As far as my certifications are concerned, I'm an ASE certified auto technician. ASE is the National Institute for Automotive Service Excellence. It is the most widely recognized automotive technician certification program in the country. I'm an ASE certified maintenance and light repair technician. I have EPA and Mobile Air Conditioning System Society EPA 609 certification. If you're going to service air conditioning systems, mobile air conditioning systems, you need to be certified by the EPA. I am a ProCut Master Certified Trainer. ProCut is an on-car brake lathe. I'm a New York State Certified Motor Vehicle Inspector. I have various aftermarket manufacturer certificates. I'm a factory-trained Nissan technician, and I'm a permanently certified automotive technology teacher, and I've been teaching for 20 years. Our other first-year teacher, his name's Doug Jenks. He actually graduated from here in 1980 in our outdoor power equipment program. He spent 4 years in the United States Army as an aircraft power plant repairman, repairing helicopters. He spent about 15 years in the industry. He used to write technical articles for a National Motocross magazine. He designed a very successful how-to motorcycle and outdoor power equipment website. He's been teaching here since 1990. He's an EETC 4-stroke certified engine technician, and he's a certified New York State motor vehicle inspector as well. Our second-year teacher is Courtney Benjamin. She has both an associate's and a bachelor's degree in automotive technology, as well as a master's degree in education and a PhD in education from Binghamton University. She's got about 22 years in the industry, and she's been teaching for 16 years. As far as the programs here are hands-on classes that teach the students the skills necessary to enter the workforce as an entry-level automotive technician or continue your education at a post-secondary school. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look at my syllabus. So this is my course syllabus, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we will look at our units of study. So these are the units of study throughout the year in order. So the first thing we cover is shop safety and introduction to automotive technology. We cover a lot of shop safety aspects. There are a lot of things that can be dangerous in this industry, so we need to cover things like lift safety, jacks and jack stands, fire safety, electrical safety, spills, all that kind of stuff, as well as what it's like to work in the automotive industry. So what's the pay scale like? What are the job conditions like? What are job prospects like? What kind of certifications are required or might you want to achieve? We talk about tools. So both general use tools, things like wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, hammers, as well as specialty tools. There are a lot of those in this industry. We also talk about where to procure tools. Routine maintenance, things like oil changes, tire rotations, air filters, things like that. New York State Motor Vehicle Inspection. We are a licensed inspection station. Wheels and tires, so dismounting and remounting, balancing, vibration diagnosis, puncture repair, tire pressure monitoring systems. Brake systems, so disc brake, drum brake, base hydraulic system, emergency brake, both mechanical, electronic, anti-lock brakes and traction control. Suspension systems, things like shocks, springs, struts, sway bars. Steering systems, so we're talking rack and pinion as well as our linkage style systems. And then wheel alignment, basic cooling systems. This is one of the units that sometimes we cut in the year depending on how much time we have. If we have time in the year, we cover that. Basic electrical, so we're talking electron theory, basic circuits, series parallel, Ohm's law, some basic digital multimeter use. Basic engine theory, four-stroke theory, and then employability skills. So those are the things that we cover over the course of the first year in this program. So as far as non-traditional occupations are concerned, there are careers where less than 25% of the individuals employed would be of the opposite sex. So in this industry, this would be dominated by men. So females make up less than 25% of the individuals, or something like cosmetology would be the other way around. Do not think it's unusual to have a girl in an automotive class. I have girls every year. In 20 years, I've only had 1 year I didn't have any girls. The girls generally do very well in my program. In fact, my best student this year happens to be a girl. So don't think that if you come up and take what would be considered a non-traditional occupation that you're going to be out of place, because you won't be. As far as equipment and uniforms are concerned, students are required to provide work boots. Safety toe are preferred but not required. They do need to be work boots, no sneakers, no flip-flops, no sandals, no hiking boots, that kind of thing. Work boots, preferably steel toe or safety toe. I prefer composite toe myself. Keeps your toes warmer. You need work pants as well. We provide you a work shirt and 1 pair of safety glasses. Second-year students are issued a set of uniforms for class from Cintas. We'll talk more about that a little later. We are represented by something called a trade committee. A trade committee is a group of people in the industry, auto technicians, service managers, service writers, shop owners, people in post-secondary education who look at our program and they make recommendations. They look at our curriculum. They look at our facilities. They look at our tools and equipment. They look at all of those things and determine if what we're teaching and what we're teaching with are up to industry standard. And then they'll make recommendations on things we should or shouldn't be teaching, or maybe pieces of equipment we want to look at updating, things like that. We also have something called an employability profile. Students get those twice a year. They sort of rate the students' employability. So part of it is soft skills, things like communication skills. How do you work as a team? How do you follow directions? Do you produce quality work? Those kind of things. And then the hard skills, things like how well do you perform brake jobs or do wheel alignments, things like that. So it sort of allows the student to gauge where they stand from an employment perspective. And it also shows prospective employers where that student stands in relation to how prepared they are to be employed. We do offer integrated credit in math, science, and English. We are approved by the state of New York to give math, science, and English credit. Generally speaking, in the first year, most kids get science credit. Most of the kids use this for their chem credit. Now, because of that, you will do some academic work. These are some things you might expect to do, things like daily journaling, research projects, homework and additional writing assignments, math or science projects, year-long senior project. I generally don't give homework. Now, the academics that are involved are integrated, which means that you're not coming in and reading Shakespeare, right? When we talk English, things like reading technical information, filling out repair orders, talking to customers, those are all English. When we talk about things like math, alignment is all geometry. It's all math. You look at chemistry, combustion chemistry, battery chemistry, physics, when we look at things like how electricity functions, or hydraulics, Pascal's law, the theory of fluid dynamics. All of those things are science. So all of those are integrated into the program. You would have had to have learned them anyway. All right. We just show New York State that you do them so you can get credit for those things. As far as student work, it's hands-on, experience-based as well as classroom-based. You may see examples of student work in the lab area. Obviously, I can't show you students working out in the shop, but you will see what the shop looks like. I'm going to talk briefly about something called Skills USA. So Skills USA is a national organization serving more than 250,000 high school and college students, as well as professional members enrolled in training programs in technical and service occupations. The organization is designed to prepare America's future high-performance workers by providing quality educational experiences in leadership, teamwork, citizenship, and character development. The skills programs include local, state, and national competitions in which students demonstrate occupational leadership skills. Skills USA members participate in several local community service events, and a number of scholarships are available to all Skills USA members. It's a really good thing for students to get into. We encourage students to join. There are a lot of benefits to being in Skills USA. We also have several articulation agreements. So an articulation agreement is an agreement between our school and a post-secondary school saying if you meet certain criteria, they will waive certain classes. We currently have articulations with SUNY Morrisville, SUNY Alfred, SUNY Canton, the University of Northwestern Ohio, and Lincoln Tech. So let's take SUNY Canton, for instance. They waive, I believe it's Auto 101 and Auto 111. So you wouldn't have to take those two classes, which means you don't have to pay for those two classes. On top of that, it opens a couple of holes in your schedule. So if you want to take additional classes, you have the ability to do so. So that's a nice thing to be able to take advantage of. That is something you need to set up ahead of time. So make sure that if you're going to take advantage of those articulations, you talk to your guidance counselor. We are an ASE Education Foundation accredited automotive training program. The ASE Education Foundation, or formerly NATEF, was created by ASE to certify automotive programs that met certain standards. It used to be students might graduate from two different automotive schools with two totally different sets of skills. What I mean is student A might have graduated from school A, and when they leave, they might be ready day one as an entry-level technician. They know how to mount and balance tires and do brake jobs, and do alignments, and do service. A student might have graduated from school B where they did some basic maintenance. They might have rotated some tires and changed oil, might have learned how to detail cars. Those two students have very different skill sets, and the employers needed to know that. Well, they didn't. They would hire somebody for a job maybe they weren't qualified to do. What ASE did was accredit programs that met certain standards. So when a student leaves an ASE Education Foundation accredited program, they can do a base set of skills so that they're ready day one as an entry-level technician. There is a task list those students need to perform over the course of 2 years so that when they leave here, they're ready to go. All right. It demonstrates a level of proficiency. So when the kid leaves, they're ready day one to turn wrenches. As far as certifications are concerned, these are some of the certifications you can earn from the program. We prepare you to take the ASE exams. Now, you have to have 2 years of full-time experience in order to be able to qualify to be ASE certified. Now, you'll see down here the ASE entry-level maintenance and light repair program. That test, if you pass that test, it covers you for 2 years until you can get your experience and become actually ASE certified. So the ASE maintenance and light repair entry-level exam covers you for those 2 years. You can take the ASE test anytime you want, but you won't get your certification until you meet those 2 years of work experience. We prepare you to take the New York State Motor Vehicle Inspector certification exam. You'll have the opportunity to take your EPA 609 certification for air conditioning, OSHA 12 and SP2 safety certifications, ASE Intro to Auto Services certification. Like I said, the ASE entry-level maintenance and light repair. You also have the opportunity to take the Snap-on NC3 Pro Cut Master Rotor Matching certification program, Precision Measuring certification program, and Digital Multimeter certification program, as well as achieve ALI Automotive Lift Institute Lift Safety certification. As far as some of the places you could possibly get jobs, places like dealerships, independent garages, chain stores, part suppliers, equipment manufacturers. Now, our second-year students don't come to school here on campus. They go to school at Galt Toyota. They have a classroom down at the dealership. When they're at the dealership, they mirror technicians to see what they do out in the shop. They see what some of the back office people do. Pretty much all of the second-year automotive students go out on paid internship as well. So they're out working. They actually work out in garages, dealerships, independent garages. We try to get you as many real-world experiences as we can before you graduate so you can see what it's really like to do this job. That's why the students get issued a set of uniforms. They get 10 uniforms that are dry cleaned by Cintas. They look just like the Galt Toyota uniforms, but they say Broome-Tioga BOCES instead of Galt Toyota on them. Normally, I would open the floor to questions, but since you're not here in front of me, I'll answer some of the most commonly asked questions. Can I work on my own vehicle? The answer to that is yes, with some caveats. You need to be up to date in class. You can't be absent a bunch and owe me a bunch of work and then come in and want to work on your car. You need to make your work up first. The next thing is it needs to be applicable to class. So it has to be something we're either currently doing or have already done. So you can't come in January when we're in suspension and say, hey, I want to do an alignment. Well, you haven't learned alignment yet. Okay, so it's got to be something that either you've already done or we're currently doing in class. What cars do we work on? We work on staff, student, immediate family member, student, and facilities owned. All right, I limit it to those things because those are the only vehicles we can legally inspect. Schools get a limited inspection station license, and we can only inspect those vehicles. Therefore, I limit work only to those vehicles. Let me briefly talk about, yes, you absolutely can work on your own car. You can work on your mom's car, dad's car, things like that. However, if you want to work on, let's say, your buddy's car, you can work on it as long as they're a student here at BOCES. They don't need to be in the automotive program, but they need to be a BOCES student. If they're a friend from your home school, but they don't go to school here, we can't service their vehicle. Now, one thing I do want to do real quick is I do want to show you around the shop a little bit. So hopefully this works okay. I took this photosphere the other day. Shop is a little bit of a mess, but you'll get the idea. So this is what the shop looks like. I'll take you sort of for a spin around the shop so you can see what everything looks like. And then we'll talk about some individual things here. This is the biggest shop in the school. It is roughly 80 by 160. There are very few jobs we can't perform in this shop. This is a full service garage. So what you're looking at right here in the center, the computer there in the center is the New York State Inspection Station. The piece of equipment in front of it is a Midtronics charging and starting system diagnostic center. These are a couple of our live work bays. Here you'll see the brake lathe. If I keep going, over here you'll see the kids we're working with an oxyacetylene torch here. Over in this corner, you will see our higher end wheel and tire equipment as well as our wheel alignment equipment. If we swing over this way, the classroom I am in is actually behind this lift post right here. That's my classroom. The second door is Mr. Jenks's classroom. These are our brake trainers. So when you first learn how to do brakes, you learn on the trainers, and then we transition you to automobiles. This room back here behind this wall, this is the tool room. We provide all the tools to you. Here you'll see the teaching assistant, a couple of the kids servicing this BRZ. That BRZ is a school vehicle. They're learning how to remove and install McPherson struts in that vehicle. Over here is the locker and bathroom area. Here's some more wheel and tire equipment. And this is the other end of the shop. So that kind of gives you an idea as to what it looks like out in the shop. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. And with that, I will let you go.